So it should be fun. I've never done that before.
2 minutes, folks, so be really quick.
Okay, really.
$120 million, what are you going to do with it?
Well, the first thing we have to do is determine whether this is net new money or if this is simply an acceleration of the existing MSI money. That's critical because it helps us understand if we accelerate projects that are already on the books for 2016 or 17, or if we have opportunity to use some of this towards our long list of unfunded projects. That said, I'm very, very, very pleased that the provincial government has heard what municipalities have been saying about the need for stimulus right now. And my understanding from the provincial government is their intent in announcing this is to actually get stuff built this summer, to get stuff happening in this construction season. Frankly, we won't be able to tender any bids until after the provincial budget is tabled, unless we get some assurances from the province on what they're planning on doing in that provincial budget, both on Green Trip and on MSI. But that said, if the provincial budget is being tabled on March 26th, we'll be ready to tender at 3 o'clock on March 26th.
Were you expecting something else this morning? Given all the lead up to a provincial budget that the Premier...
Well, I'm just very happy because we've been making the case very strongly that the time for stimulus is now, that if you got to build stuff, and everything we're building we have to build. There's nothing optional on here. You got to build wastewater pipes, you got to build transit, you got to build roads. So if you got to build it at a time when interest is super low and when construction prices are coming down. And I've been making that argument for weeks, and I'm thrilled that the provincial government has been hearing this.
Under either of those scenarios, what's the priority for either getting new money or accelerated money?
Well, there's two different sets of priorities. We have a report coming to Council on Monday, just in preparation for precisely this sort of thing, that lists our unfunded projects. And when you see that report, you'll see that it lists what they are, how much they cost, and critically, how long we need to tender them. And so if it's new projects, you can pretty much just look at that list and look at the ones that are the slowest, the lowest time to tender, and you'll see where we'll likely go. If it's accelerated projects, then we just have to look through and see what are we ready to tender, what's shovel ready, to use that old term, and what can we move on quickly, because all of it's a priority, all of it's got to get built.
We need to get going, guys.
Does this change the conversation on Monday then, that you might actually have council say, all right, we're getting $120 million, what should it be?
If I were a betting man, I would say that we are more likely to accelerate already funded stuff rather than add new stuff to the list, only because we don't yet have any assurances on what's going to happen in 17 and 18.
And do you have a preference for what we should do if we use $120 million?
I have a generic preference, and the generic preference is I would really like to accelerate all of the work that we funded in transit under the Route Ahead program, the 7 new busways. My only question is how much of that is close to shovel ready, and I don't know the answer.
Do you worry that this money not dry up, but the Premier said it's going to be pretty tight for the next few years, that we'll get $400 million now and then nothing?
We have a contractual agreement with the province on the MSI funding, how long it's supposed to take, and that's been stretched out before by previous premiers, previous provincial governments. It would be odd if they announced new money today and then stretched it out in 2.5 weeks' time when the budget comes, but I am remaining optimistic, and I'm hoping that this is a net positive for us. Okay, thank you.